Everything that you see around today is content, and content writing is one of the most accessible freelance jobs. But can you make a career out of it? Well, I personally started at about 50 cents per 500 words almost a decade ago or even a little while back. And today I can charge $1,500 upwards per long form blog post. I have experimented with various careers. I have traveled across cities and I have worked on my own schedule all this time. I've built my own websites. So you can definitely make a career out of content writing. Right now, I work as a remote content marketer and I love my job. From the time I started to right now, my notions and beliefs about content and writing have changed a lot. We'll talk about all of those things, but here's the first step to begin your career as a content writer. Step number 1, tailor your writing for an online audience. Well, I'm not talking about grammar. Grammar is basically compliance. If you fumble with grammatical issues in your writing, fix them, do a course, get a grammar book, use a tool like Grammarly. Once you're done with that, learn how to research on subjects that you have never written about. Find out unexplored and interesting angles. That's where you will have to level up. There's a lot of content published online. And if you'll just write about the same old subjects from the same directions that other writers have taken, you will be boring. Don't be boring. Learn to research and come with creative angles for your writing. But remember, the essence is ideas, how unique your ideas are. And it's not buzzwords. Don't use flowery language, use simple words. The attention span online is really short. People are looking for insights. They are not really wanting to get enchanted by your writing skills. Step 2, get in the marketer's mindset. The right mindset for content writing is understanding that content is a marketing channel. It's how businesses want to generate brand awareness, leads for their business, and ultimately sales. That's what will pay the bills. As a writer, you may think of it as a creative medium, as a medium of expression for yourself, which is really nice and which is something that you should definitely want to fulfill with content writing. But it has to pay the bills. You should take risks, but also align your goals with your employers. Understand how to do content writing for a specific platform. You may have to tailor your writing for SEO. You may have to tailor your writing for social media or for newsletter or different platforms or another campaign that your employer or your client asks you to. And then they might have feedback for you. So don't take feedback personally. It's not about you. It's about getting business results, and you will have to dissociate yourself from your content writing work. That's how you will get in the good books of your clients. At the same time, you should also have some pride. And once you understand content writing's nuances, be willing to also deny some feedback. Be willing to share your opinion on certain feedback by your clients. A related step number 3, act like a professional. If you have a doubt, always Google it. Your employer, client, a fellow writer will be really happy if you are only asking them things that you can't find on Google. It means you are respecting their time and your time. Under promise and over deliver. Respect deadlines. If you are telling your client that you will deliver a thing on 25th, ensure that you complete it rather by the 23rd or 20th. If you think a certain content piece will take you 3 days, then tell your client that it will take you 5 to 6 days. Set deadlines that you can always exceed. That's going to be super important as you grow in your content writing career, because people want to work with writers who are reliable, who always exceed expectations. Get a website. Well, this is not something compulsory and not important at the beginning of your career, but see, it's like your online home. It's where you can put your testimonials. It's where you can put your portfolio. It's a place where you can write all the other things about your inspiration for content writing and your backstory for starting a content writing business. As soon as possible, just develop a content writing website for your own brand. You can actually do it for free and quickly using WordPress. Here's a tutorial on how to create your website with WordPress. You also need to set your rates like a professional. Anything below 5 cents a word is not really respectable. Try to quote a higher price with every new client that you onboard. You can even quote 100% higher initially. If you're acting professionally, then it warrants setting rates that are paid to a professional content writer. And professional content writers that put in the reps Start at 5 to 10 cents a word today. I'll extend the being professional pointer to caring about the results that you can derive for your clients. If you can rank the articles you write in search engines and get more traffic and leads for the businesses you work with, they'll be willing to pay you more. The next step, choose a content writing subskill platform and niche. You can write content for social media platforms. You can write blog posts in the B2B industry. You can write content in the B2C industry as well. There are various avenues. You can even write scripts for YouTube videos or for podcasts. So there are various types of content formats and various kinds of industries that you can write in. So you need to choose which one you want to specialize in. Writing for social media platforms like Twitter and LinkedIn may call for visual content creation skills as well. And sometimes you may even need to create videos if you're choosing something like YouTube. And you may need to write in a conversational nature if you're writing for podcasts. So depending on what you choose, there will be different kinds of writing skill sets that are required. Choose one based on what you feel naturally inclined towards. But when it comes to choosing your niche, which is like the industry you write for, I think B2B or complex industries such as manufacturing or investment, finance can pay you really well. So follow the money and curiosity and maybe work at the intersection of both of these so that you feel good and get paid well while content writing. Everything today is content, so there are different types of content that you can create, and I have talked about the different types of freelance writing, which is also the different types of content that you can check out in this video that I've created right here. So once you have chosen a sub-skill such as long form writing, copywriting, email copywriting, or a different kind of content writing altogether, then you can choose the platform and your niche. The platform could be the business's blog or their website or their newsletter or an email autoresponder or their podcast or their YouTube channel. Depending on it, the kind of sub-skills that you require and the kind of writing, the nature of the writing that you will need to do will vary. So choose one that you feel inclined towards, that you feel a curiosity for, but also can pay you well. The next step, create your writing portfolio. Now I have created a dedicated tutorial on how to create your writing portfolio with zero experience right here, but let me talk about it quickly. While developing your writing portfolio, the first thing is to learn to write for an online audience. People scan online, use short sentences, use 3 to 5 sentences per paragraph, and use visuals to keep people's interest, use multimedia. That's how people just get engaged. Tailor your writing for an online audience. To begin your writing portfolio, you can probably self-publish on LinkedIn or a platform like Medium or Substack. Substack specifically provides a great platform today to even build your own online audience while writing for them. Once you have a few self-published pieces, you can guest post on reputable publications in your niche or just general publications in the business niche. Depending on how you pitch, which is again a skill that you will have to learn and pick as you go, you can expand your writing portfolio by guest posting. Guest posting, for starters, is when you write for another publication's audience. It could be a magazine, it could be a niche industry blog, or it could even be a business blog by another company that you follow. Apply for work from home internships. Well, this is a great way to actually expand your body of work. There might be startups looking for content writers right now. Then you can work for them from your home and get some writing samples under your belt. They may not pay you well, but it's just nice to get some momentum and get paid a little while building your writing portfolio. Such internships also play a great role in expanding your content marketing skill set and your content marketing network that can then play a huge role in getting your freelance writing clients. You can scout your LinkedIn network if there are people who own companies or own media publications, or they might work at a respectable company which requires content writers. Just get in touch with them. Tell them that you are looking for content writing gigs. And that's how you can land a gig and expand your content writing portfolio. You can also prospect local media outlets, maybe reach out to newspapers in your neighborhood. I know this is not typically clubbed under content writing, but this kind of writing experience could still really help you in your content writing journey. Another important thing is social proof. Even if you're not getting paid content writing gigs, you can ask people in your own network who run companies or blogs or digital creators whom you follow for a testimonial in exchange for writing for them. You write for free, but you get some social proof that you can then use to get your first paid content writing gig later. And once you have a few content writing pieces, it's time to present your content writing portfolio. Use a platform like Contently for the same. I use it and I really like it. I send it to all my clients whenever I first prospect them. You can also start updating your social media accounts with relevant descriptions. Tell people that you are a content writer available for hire and start posting on social media. Tell people how content writing can help businesses. Try to post helpful content for your prospective clients 3 to 5 times a week on social media platforms. Engage with your prospective clients on social media. That could be a great way to put yourself out there and get your first content writing gig. Which brings me to my next pointer. Apply for content writing jobs. There are both freelance and full-time opportunities available in the content writing industry. You can work from office, you can work remotely, and you can work from home permanently. Everything is possible. Depending on the kind of lifestyle that you want, you can choose one of these. Or maybe you want to experiment with all of them and apply for all of them to try out your luck on which one works for you. Let's talk about 3 broad ways to get content writing jobs. The first is job boards. There are many job boards like Peak Freelance, Superpath, Pro Blogger. Here you will find blogging and content writing gigs. Mostly they will be freelance, but Superpath specifically has a full-time content marketing job board. You can also find freelance opportunities on Slack channels, on Facebook groups related to content marketing or content writing, and even groups or communities where your target audience hangs out. This could be a great way to begin your freelance career, and I will recommend you to definitely experiment with job boards. I personally found a long-term and reliable client through the Pro Blogger job board. There are job boards even for full-time opportunities such as Indeed, AngelList, LinkedIn Jobs. You can experiment with these as well, and maybe you can even look out for remote content marketing opportunities. But job boards have a limitation. Every job is not advertised. That's why we come to the second tactic to find content writing jobs. Prospecting digital marketing agencies. Digital marketing agencies are always on the lookout for writers. They have a growing roster of clients, and that's why they need a growing roster of writers to satisfy their clients' needs. You can choose to follow a few digital marketing agency websites closely that resemble the kind of work that you want to do. I personally like to follow Animals, Grow and Convert, Siege Media, but you can just search for the top 100 digital marketing agencies or the top 50 content marketing agencies or a variation of such keywords in Google and prepare a list and maybe visit their websites and see if they are looking for any content writers. That could be a great way to land a freelance or even a full-time role. The third way, cold pitch top companies in your industry. See, this is one of the most hated but one of the most effective ways to land content writing jobs. You prepare a list of companies that are creating some kind of content. Maybe they push out social media content regularly. Maybe they push out blog posts. Prepare a list of such companies in an Excel sheet. Then find out their content marketing managers or strategists or head of content or the chief marketing officers. Write down their emails and LinkedIn profiles in an Excel sheet. You can find email of people through a tool like hunter.io. Once you have this list, prospect people. Try and personalize your pitch. Send out 3 to 5 pitches in a day. Personalize them to the companies that you're pitching and just see your content writing business grow. Maybe you can even land a full-time opportunity and just see your content writing career launch. Even if you're looking for a full-time opportunity, cold pitching can work for it. Once you are applying for jobs and have a few content writing gigs under your belt, it's time for the next step. Level up your content writing business or personal brand. Now, once you have a full-time job or if you have a few clients, it's time to streamline your processes. For the repeatable tasks in your workflow, define every step. Use templates. Maybe you refer to a certain framework for writing social media posts. And maybe there are 5 other frameworks. If you get stuck, you can just refer to those frameworks. For structuring your blog post, there can be various frameworks that you tend to use repeatedly. Create a swipe file with all such templates. Create a folder. Then all of your swipe files for these different steps can be stored and categorized in this folder. Now, whenever you are performing a specific task, you can just use swipe files. You already have the operational steps for every task noted down. It's just time to follow it. It's just time to execute them. No second guessing. We have already talked about a website. The next step to level up in your content writing career? Start a blog or a newsletter. See, as a writer, people expect you have an online home. And sure, I talked about having a website in one of the previous sections, but it should be a living entity. And if you publish every week, if you can send out an email newsletter and build your audience, that's what is going to build your influence. That's what is going to help people remember you. So, on any of your core interests or anything related to your business, start a newsletter. Having an email audience and growing it is a great way to expand your personal brand. It can in itself also help you generate some revenue once you have a sufficient audience. If you are freelancing, you can also blog on topics that are of concern for your target audience. That can bring in new leads, new traffic on your website. The next thing you need to do is build relationships. In the content marketing industry, you will have to network, you will have to build a reputation for yourself. Relationships is what will differentiate you from your peers. So be social, be willing to help people, maybe start a podcast, or just generally go out there and be human, be kind. A great way to expand the audience of your content pieces is to collaborate and partner with others. And you can even turn these partnerships into friendships. Well, you always need someone to share your wins and failures with, right? Who better than content writers, content marketers, and digital marketers? And the last thing that you need to do, just keep moving up the ladder. See, you learned content writing, now maybe spice it up by learning SEO, learn content strategy, learn how to write thought leadership pieces, learn how to use AI tools for writing and integrate them in your workflow. Content writing is a quickly evolving industry and you have to keep leveling up if you have to match up the industry's speed. And those were all these steps that you need to take to become a successful content writer. Content writing will continue to be an in-demand skill and hence it's going to be a sought after career. You need to differentiate yourself from your peers, but don't overcomplicate it. You can start with the first step, learning the ropes of online writing, and let me know if there's anything I can do to help you in your content writing journey.